Sue, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are
How
you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me today. Everything's going well?
Yes, I just received another booking for 27 night. So
Oh,
I'm I'm booked until May. So it's going great.
nice, amazing. Well, congratulations. I'm super happy to hear that. I know you've been having a ton of wins alongside of that. I really want to utilize today to kind of just touch base with you briefly, see how everything's going, see what you've learned, talk a little bit about, the goals that we're obviously hitting for you and how well this is going. So before we kind of jump into it, do you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss prior?
No, so far is like your team is really helping me. The Andrew and Noah, they both helping me a lot. So yeah, it's been
Good.
great.
Good. Well, awesome. Listen, I want to utilize this time together. It will be super brief, but I do want to just touch base with you again and like just hear about your experience working with us, where you were before you started and like where you are today. I know you've been absolutely crushing it, and I'm super happy to see your success. So let's kind of get into it. I guess tell us a little bit like where you're from, when you started doing this, and a little bit of background on yourself.
Yes, so currently I'm living in California. I'm a full-time software engineer. So this is going to be my first Airbnb, and I found your page on Facebook. So I contacted you around on middle of November, I think, and then I couldn't start it immediately because I have some other things to do. So and then I started on December, and you found me the apartment within 2, 3 weeks, I think. But it is during the holidays time, so the like going the contract and negotiating other things is a little bit taking time. So I got an apartment around, I think, yeah, January 12th is my first starter date of that apartment. So, and then I spent about like 5 days to set up the whole apartment, and then I launched it at the like last week of the January, and I got it like 2, 3 booking immediately within 1, 2 hours I launched.
That's amazing. It's just awesome to hear. Obviously, like where you started in such a short amount of time. I mean, it's like February 4th. We're talking not even 3.5, 4 weeks ago. It's just amazing. So, I guess talk to me a little bit about on like your experience with the help that we've helped as far as like the pricing, the systems, the automations. Even though you do come from like software engineer background, talk to me a little bit on how we've helped you kind of navigate through those, setting up the pricing, setting up these systems, the softwares to allow yourself to not only like build a portfolio that's eventually going to replace your income, right? But of course, also not require you to spend 20, 30, 40 hours a week to manage it.
When I want to start the Airbnb, I like looking for who should I want to work with and things like that. So the first thing your team stand out is that like you look for an apartment for me. So I don't need to like cold call everyone, like I'm just scared a
Yeah.
little bit. I don't know anything about it. So yeah, I think that's the really like strongest point for me, and because everyone is like offering the similar things. And yeah, I watch all of your video on your page and then on your website also. So I'm like, okay, and then I have a schedule with you, and then I'm like, okay, that is the things I want to do. And I think the thing surprised me most is how much help I can get. Like Andrew is with me for every step. Like anytime I don't know about this, and he came in and helped me out because after I got an apartment, like you need to make a decision for like every 10 minutes, like what painting you want to put, like what kind of coffee you want to put in and like that. But yeah, you give me the whole list, so I don't need to think about it. Just go and buy the things and just order it. So it helped about like 80, 90% of the things, it's going really well, like a lot faster than I would expect. And the real struggle began when you launch it. Like when I received the booking, I was so panicked. I'm like, what do I do? What should I do? How do I do? Do I receive it or do I not receive it? Like somebody want to book about 5 months out. I'm like, no, do I need to receive it or not? And like that, those kind. I was super panicked, and I sent a message in the Slack, and Noah is like, okay, I'm free now. He jumped in immediately and he helped me out, like how to set up the setting, how to like response to the client guests and things like that. So yeah, they're like every step there's like Andrew and Noah is there and helping me out. So I feel like so released. If I'm doing it alone, it would be really difficult to do it. Now everything is set up, and remote log is set up, the cleaner is also set up, and you even help me out how to find a cleaner, how to interview them, how to talk to them, like what to look for and what is the red flag or what is the green flag and everything. So yeah, now I don't need to do. I launched about like 2 weeks ago. Now I don't need to do anything anymore. Everything is automatically set up.
Amazing. I'm super glad to hear that. Talk to me a little bit. I know obviously when we first spoke was like the main goal was for you to get into a way to build passive income, right, alongside your career right now to supplement your income and then eventually potentially replace it in the future, just because of like the amount of workload that you do have in like your main career. Talk to me a little bit on where you were before you jumped into this and like where you are now, maybe a little bit on like the financial side with this first property that's like it's booked out till when? All the way till May?
Me.
That's amazing. Talk to me a little bit about like the financial shift a little bit that you've had, even just with one property that is now supplementing your income. And of course, you are going to expand and continue adding in units. But talk to me a little bit where you were prior to having this unit up and running to like where you are now and how it's helped.
I'm working as a software engineer and I also have a long-term unit. I have a duplex, so they are renting, but like currently the interest is really high and tax also really high. So I don't get any profit that much, it just covering it and I'm not getting any profit. So that's why I want to do the short-term rental and now I jump in. And so currently I'm giving about like 40%, 45% discount currently. The longer the book is lower. So
Hmm.
even with that, I can see the earning on the Airbnb, and I think for February I'm going to get about like 1,000 profit for February, and
Nice.
yes,
Nice. And
yeah,
that's with a one bedroom unit?
yes, yeah,
Nice.
one bedroom, and I put in a extra bed like a row with bed, so it's a three people. So
Hmm.
yeah, so even if like March will be a little bit less booking than other month, but even then I will get about like 500 profit. So I think even with the 40% discount, so yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
financially it's looking really good. And for this unit, I applied for the credit card and using that money. So I think like I can pay back now, and yeah, the unit will cover the expense will cover itself, and then after that, all will be my profits.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I think too, like the biggest thing that I harp on a lot, especially with you and like, of course, my other clients is, the first conversation you and I had. I know you mentioned obviously you have that long-term rental, and it's just refreshing my memory when we first spoke, is kind of understanding what vehicle to get into next, right? I think a lot of people are in similar positions of where you are, like you're a high income earner, you're a software engineer, but it's like, you're always taught, okay, preserve that money in long-term rentals. And it's good to preserve the money, but it's also about finding the vehicle that's going to create the cash flow. And with like long-term rentals, you saw, unfortunately, it wasn't kind of checking that box off the list of generating cash flow, right? And that's kind of why you pivot into short-term rentals. So I guess comparing the two business models, right? Long-term rentals for what you were doing prior to Airbnb and short-term rentals, like what have you seen a massive difference in compared to like now where you're at with the short-term rentals and of course like your long-term rental that you have? I know you briefly touched upon it, but I want to hear you like elaborate a little bit on it. Like what's like the biggest differences that you've seen between like those two different vehicles?
I think the most different will be the tax return because like currently I'm living in California, so my tax is about like 40%, 42%, so it's a lot. So the reason I want to do the short-term rental is that there's a tax loophole. Like if I do the
Hmm.
short-term SDR tax, then I can get the like write-off is from the
Yeah.
W-2 tax. So that is really now I'm paying a lot. 40% is a lot of money. So
Yeah.
with with one unit, I might get back about like 10,000. So I'm thinking like, okay, if it's a two, three unit, and I will get back about 20,000, 30,000. So yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe next year, this year I'm just stay looking at it how it things plays out and everything. So maybe next year
Hmm.
I'm going to get about like three, four unit more, and yeah, and then after that like expand like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, like using the arbitrage vehicle to generate cash flow and then start to pivot into then buying short-term rentals for your taxes, like cost segregation, stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, cool. And I know I briefly shared to you, like that's currently what I'm doing as well. Is like build a large arbitrage portfolio that is cash flowing, 10, 20, $30,000 a month and then siphon that money into buying short-term rentals rather than long-term rentals because you have that write-off against your W-9, which is amazing. What are your plans as far as like this year, um, as far as scaling? Like, where are you kind of expecting to be by the end of the year, maybe unit wise, profitability wise, and like talk to me a little bit on like your goals and what you're looking to achieve.
Yeah, currently, like I just launched it. I'm getting the booking so far, so I'm like, okay, let's see about 3 4 months. But
Hmm.
my boyfriend, he wants to do also. He's like, I'm showing him like I got a booking and like that. He helped me a lot setting up the unit also. So he is also planning to get another unit. I was talking with Andrew like.
Nice.
I went in the same area, and yeah, another things I want to say like the location is really really good. The
Yeah.
apartment you look for me like it's so good, and people are like pilot. They want to come for the training at the aerospace center. And the
Hmm.
booking I got today is for the physician assistant. She needs to do the
Nice.
rotation. So yeah, the location is really good. So normally Arizona will be like low season in May, June. So I was a little bit worried maybe my
Yeah.
booking might be going down, but I have a fully booking. So I'm like I really like the location. So I'm thinking like
Yeah.
to get another unit there for my boyfriend, and we plan to set it up maybe in next 2 3 months. Yeah, that's my
Nice.
plan so
Okay.
far. But for me, I want another unit for myself also. But like I'm a little bit busy with other work and things like that. So I'm gonna stay thinking about it. Like, should I start now or
Sure.
wait for a little bit because he is going to do his unit also. So I'm like, okay, let's do one apartment at a time because like I'm staying
Yeah.
young. So
Totally. And that's a great point too. Like two things I want to cover with you is obviously like you do have a really good career, right? Software engineer, but it does require a lot of your time throughout the week. How have we helped you as far as like speed ramping this process of not only like finding the market for you, which you said is absolutely crushing, but also finding the property for you and like expediting this learning curve for you with our expertise and our experience? How have you say that's helped you on top of like your career, right? And the workload that you have involved in that, as far as like now building this alongside it.
yeah, I think the video help a lot. Like I repeat one module about like 2 3 times, and then it's explain really well step by step with the documentation. I don't even need to type, just copy and paste it. And so after I set it up and then I launched it, I think it took me only 2 weeks because you guys introduced me the photographer also. I just call them and they take care of everything.
Yeah.
So the photographer was really quick. I got it, the photos within 24 hours. So and then as soon as I received the photo, I contacted Andrew, and Andrew is like, okay, then we can launch it. He helped me set up everything. And I have an issue with pricing. I'm so confused, like how much should I board and what do I do? And so he gave me his formula and helped me out how to set up things. And yeah, I think it took only 2 weeks to launch it immediately. And yeah, I launched 4 a.m. in the morning, and when I wake up, I already got two bookings. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I think too, right, the biggest thing for you was like the efficiency and like the time. Because for you, like you're very smart and like you could definitely figure this out on your own. But like I said, you have such a high demanding job where you are working a lot, where it's like you needed that extra support to kind of speed ramp that process to find the market for you, get you your first profitable Airbnb and like help you set it all the way up A to Z. I think that the biggest thing here, the people that I speak is understanding the risks of this business model. And like the biggest risk, like we kind of told you, is like you have to find the right market and you have to get the right properties, right? Alongside, of course, the pricing and all that stuff that you were learning now. But I guess for you, how has that risk reversal helped for you, like getting into this and building that level of certainty and confidence in the beginning stages of like, okay, identifying the market we picked for you and you being able to like move into it with that confidence and certainty.
So I think if it is up to me, I would choose definitely the most like crowded area like Sedona or things like that,
Yeah.
Like if it is up to me, I would do that. But I will have, I think, since it is crowded, it will be a lot of competition, and also
Yeah.
like there will be down season, high season, and like that. Now I'm like one I schedule and you like Andrew showed me like the AT&T reset like how it is going on with these what is the market in Arizona, and then he
Hmm.
showed me different city how it is, and then after he chose the apartment for me, he is like, okay, nearby is that these places are nearby, and yeah, all the data makes sense. And then he's like, okay, why we chose this, why we do that, why it has to be like 60% occupancy, why it has to be 70% of this and that, and like explain every detail. So like it assured me, yeah, every business have a risks and data are just data. It could go wrong, but at least like I can see that you guys prepare as much as you can and train for us to be really successful. Yeah, find a really like good market for us. I can see that. So I'm like, okay, I will trust your judgment and let's go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. As we wrap this up, I guess talk to me a little bit on like your overall experience. I know you've harped on it a lot already, but I know there are a ton of programs out there and there are, good people out there too that give information. But obviously what you've done with us and how we've helped you with this done for you program, right? Because you are a high, paying professional and like you do work a lot. And now you're sitting here with your first Airbnb, your first short-term rental, and like got it set up relatively fast, right? Talk to me about like your overall experience that you've basically feel from us, like working with the Arbitrage Empire.
Mm. So yeah, it's my first Airbnb, so it's a lot like you don't know a lot of I don't know a lot of things. Like I need to learn a lot of things, like for example how to like remote log setting up. If it is up to me, I will just buy the log and then set up the software. That's it. But you guys introduce like remotelog.com and automated setting up and things like that, so that helped a lot. And like hospital software, and the biggest things I like is a cleaner, I think, because not just a cleaner, you teach us to find the property management also, like they have to do the property management together, refill
Mhm.
the stock and things like that. I think if I do it long, it would be about 1 2 years to find that secret, like
Yeah, yeah,
I was in the like Airbnb other groups in the Facebook, and people are asking like, how do you guys do the refill, how do you hire the cleaner and like that. So I feel like I got all the like top secret from the Airbnb, from your experience. So I'm like, yeah, it's really good to join. Like someone is holding my hand every step. So like and reassure me it's okay. Like don't panic. I will take care of you. So yeah, for me the experience is amazing. I was like talking to my friend and everyone, and like they all want to do the Airbnb now. So yeah, for me it was a really great experience. Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, I'm super glad to hear, and I'm super proud of like the success that you've had in such a short amount of time. And of course, it comes from you as well, like having the confidence in us and allowing us to take your hand and walk you through this path to achieve these goals of what you and I spoke about on our first call, right? That's like the biggest thing to achieve those things and how we're going to get there, paving that way, building that roadmap for you. And it's just amazing to see your success at such a short amount of time. And I can't wait to see what the next, even 6 months to the next year is going to come for you. So listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here and giving your feedback and your experience working with us. And it just warms my heart. So I just want to thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a
All
nice
right.
day.
So I'll talk to you later. Bye.